What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. You know, guys, I want to have a little bit of a serious conversation, and I want to respond to the title of Cynthia G's video, which is a Dusty Tyrone arrested for attacking black woman in Harlem. Now, this video is not to, disrespect Cynthia G or anything like that. We've had our back and forth previously, and I didn't watch the video, but, the title is what I'm dealing with today. And I believe all of the women that have talked about this particular guy, who has went out and did this horrendous thing for this black woman out there, they're right. Okay. There was another situation that happened where you had a black woman that was attacked by like two guys, got beat up, right? And you can see the screenshot here. A guy punches her because she wanted to, tell those guys to be quiet and to simmer down and things like that. And the guys beat her up. All right. So when you hear people like Paris Milan or Cynthia G talking about this, they're not wrong. You have black men out there, some guys who are dusty, who are doing things. In Harlem, you had one brother that killed his mother because of, she told him to get a job. This is all happening in the last 2 weeks in New York. I don't have any argument for it. I'm going to concede it. But then I want to ask a question. Who is raising these monsters? Who are raising them? Under what communities do they come up under? And see, when we position this question, we have many times dead silence. And you can talk to me about, their fathers abandoned them, or their fathers left, or their fathers. Well, they're not. Then the question, then, if that's your argument, who has selected the fathers that create these monsters? And you know what? For what it's worth, as Obsidian would say, for all African American women who, now if you're in the city of New York or in Harlem and you're afraid to go outside, I understand. If I had a wife that was in certain parts of Atlanta or certain parts of Miami-Dade County or certain parts of Baltimore or Philadelphia, I also would take my African American wife and get the hell up out of there. None of you women deserve the treatment that's been going on in these communities. But at the same time, who are rearing the monsters that terrorize innocent people in Black America? I'll tell you. If you don't have to wait to the end of the episode, because I'm from Del Paso Heights. I lived half of my life in Compton, California. I went to Compton College, Benjamin O'Davis Middle School. I grew up amongst gangsters. South Side Atlantic Drive Compton Crips, Nutty Block Crips, Neighborhood Crips, South Side Crips. When we lived on Santa Fe, Santana Block Crips. And all of them have one thing in common. Ain't no daddy there. The daddy wasn't much of a person. He was in jail. The mom had to work many hours, or maybe she was on drugs. And then that kid got raised by the streets. And oh, by the way, he aligned with those kids in the streets because they had the same predicament. because a lot of those women in that time thought that, nobody loved them. So they wanted to have a child because the child would be the person that would love them. Because mama didn't love them, Daddy didn't love them. They were competing with their mom for love. Mom didn't, put them out the house because mama had a boyfriend. That could happen. So you know what? I'm going to go out and have my own child, and it's going to be me and my baby against the world. I want somebody to love me that will love me. Thinking of their own, sometimes, not all the time now, but thinking of their own selfish desires. Because no one loved them as a young woman. So let me go out here and create a child that will love me. Not being able to take care of the child, not being able to provide for the child, don't even care about the daddy. Just you know what? I'll go out and get welfare. Forget, I don't need him. And then at the same time, want black men to speak up on such issues. If you don't speak up on these issues, you're not a good black man. Another shaming tactic. When, like 48 or 50% of black men don't have children at all. You have many sisters who have children by, a lot of times, more than one baby father can't figure it out. Sometimes sisters complaining about black men calling them dusty, yet having children by the same men that they call dusty. And see, here's what's happened. The freedom that feminism gave sisters, the freedom to sleep what women wanted to sleep with, the freedom to do what sisters wanted to do in certain aspects, has come home to roost in many cases in black America. We see it with the lack of skill set. We see it with the lack of businesses. The logistical increase of violence. We've seen what single motherhood has done. The talented black men and black women, let's be honest. Do you know what black women who come from black America, we always talk about black men, what they do. Black women, when they come from East Oakland, black women when they come from Compton, black women when they come from certain parts of Harlem, certain parts of Philadelphia. Let's leave black men out of it. Ask those black women who study so hard, get scholarships, go to Grambling State, go to Southern University, go to the PWIs, predominantly white institutions. Ask those black women, do they come back to those neighborhoods? No! Talented black women that come from the south side of Chicago would never go back to those places. So they can be harassed? They know what's up. Certain parts of, what was DC before, they gentrified it, and so Negroes can't stay there. South side of Anacostia, which was a nightmare for all black people that lived there for the most part. Milwaukee's of the world. Black women, when they leave, they get the hell out of there. Because they don't want to live over there. Mobile, Alabama, Birmingham, they're gone. Talented sisters, go there once a year, see Big Mama and them. They're on the next plane out. Certain parts of Oklahoma City out. And see, here's the situation. I'm not going to accept from black men nor black women on either side complaining about the same men that you are sleeping with and reproducing with, because that's what a lot of people are doing. I'll give you the argument that they're monsters attacking the black community. I will give you the argument. But one thing that I don't want to hear about is complaining about the same guys many of these sisters have reproduced with, continuously are reproducing with, and now you're asking for the guys that you didn't reproduce with to stand up. Black men who don't even have children. I mean, is that fair? Let me talk about this. You know what? When black women have problems, I'm not gonna go and ask the good black women who had nothing to do with the problems that Lakeisha and LaQuanta and them have started. They're exempt. You know what? There's so many good black women out there. I'm gonna be honest. We don't give them enough credit. There are so many sisters out there that don't have to stay behind the scenes for fear of being ridiculed, for fear of everybody else jumping on their asses. There's so many black women, African American women that just stay silent for their own protection. I will never blame them for what some have done to ruin black America. They are exempt. They did the right thing. They shouldn't have to suffer because of a few. Or for some, many. But what you're not gonna do is ask black men to stand up for situations that we didn't cause. Everybody that you know, in these little ghettos that are growing, every talented black person is leaving there for good reason. Because it's not like, you know, you can tell people about these kids. When these kids are growing up, these kids are monsters, some of them. The mama can't do nothing with him. The kids in the neighborhood can't do nothing with him. She knew his daddy wasn't going to be there because he had 3 or 4 kids already. She didn't care. So now you're expecting the other guys to come in and protect everybody from this guy? It doesn't work like that. And it won't work like that. So guys, I know it's a little bit of a longer video. What do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment pinned to the top. Check out the Patreon, and as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out. Oh yeah, don't forget the Black Men Purse t-shirts. Peace.